game from the first board from the last round between Ho Chi Minh and I'm not sure the name of the other player. Back in style. So first, Shusaku was playing this, then they were saying it's bad because it's too slow after the invention of Komi, but the boss say it's okay. So it's being played again. Then in the game, Black chose to play here. White answered to the standard move, and any idea how to play around there? Maybe someone who was paying attention yesterday during the review of Cho Chi-kun's game.
D50.
D50. Yeah. Right? So we said if White just answers here, then these 14 moves don't really lose anything, and yeah, maybe then play on the side. In the actual game, Black played here. I don't really like this one because if you consider that these two are center, so Black's pretty strong over here, and I'd like to make a more efficient shape than extending very narrowly like this. So yeah, here or even some high move, but this one I like the most. It's not interesting for White to enter this side, since Black is not really weak over there. Black just played there. Oh, and White played this nice move to take advantage. So yes, I'm giving a lecture. It's your game. Come. So White's thinking, if White had just approaches, well, he will tell us if that's what he was thinking, but I think if White just plays like this directly, then this move makes a nice shape for Black. He defends this side with nice balance between third and fourth line, and also controls the white motor. I think that's why in the game, White played here first. Black just answers. Yeah. It's a really nice direction. This is already strong, so it's good to just push Black down over there. Then the actual game, Black played this jump. Approaches. Black is left with a bit of an awkward shape around here. This and some cutting points. So far, I think White's pretty happy. If Black just pushes, then it's better for White than having Black play here. If he had just done this directly. Okay. Oh, let's play here. So Black takes Shimari, never wrong. And then White wants to continue building this. Oops. so he plays over here. That's a really nice move, I think. Maybe some people will try to go in, but this is not the important area. Actually, just make black play the uninteresting part, and you can go for the more large scale moyo. Yeah, really don't want to have to play there, but also feels like no choice since this would be really severe. So black's forced to crawl over here. Now you can also see that this stone came from the wrong direction. When you're this strong, you don't want to play from this side. If you play from this side, over here is much more interesting. So far, let's say it's quite successful white. This is just a show-off move, trying to be annoying. Again, the point is that since black is already that strong over there, you don't mind giving him any more moves, strengthening him and taking moves outside. You can also play something like this. Okay, something over here. Okay, actual game, we'll play that. So, what's the next white move? Who wants to play on the left side? Who agrees with Toe? Maybe over here? Or in the
middle.
Who wants to play this? Yeah, be honest. You don't want to play this. Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you that actually this is the correct area. You don't want to play this kind of move. The bottom is big, but when you have a moyo, you want to keep expanding it, force your opponent to come in and or try to reduce and then make the points. You don't want to just take the small points directly, because that makes it easier for your opponent. Like after this, black doesn't have to deal with this area anymore since it's already solved. So that kind of move would be slow. Over here is the right direction of play, but the shape is important. So this move, maybe black kicks. White has to answer. A little bit painful and feels over-concentrated. Normally black doesn't kick, but it would help make white stronger. But if there is a jump, then you cannot play here. You have to pure gain for black. So not here. This one. This looks like a cosmic shape, but it's full of holes. I think, yeah. You might find yourself in trouble if you try to go that far. For the people who are following AlphaGo, maybe they know.
Peep.
Shoulder hit.
Peep.
Peep. This.
No, the other side.
And then?
All in.
Then it's like
Wow. So strong. Yeah. I think this would be the best for white. It's also what white actually did. The reason why you slide after peeping, if black does answers, imagine you had slide immediately, then maybe after this one, no one is ever gonna just connect over there. At least jump or resist. But by peeping first, the slide becomes good.
Can you answer the peep at Sansan?
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So, if you peep and then you decide, oh, I'm gonna keep building my moyo, you let black kick, suddenly the peep doesn't look that great. Just help black to secure his corner. So if you peep, after connection, you have to slide. So if black plays San, like Toby says, then
Or it can push along the fifth line. It's sort of locally bad, but also.
yeah. Actually, strong players are usually a little bit allergic to pushing on the fifth line. So I think no one would consider this. Even though in this game you might have a case, since the Moya is the way it is. But yeah, if black plays here, I think you can just leave it. You can use the Aji of this cut later, or you can come from this side, aim at the cut. It's really hard to answer this move. You don't want to connect, but you also cannot kick because of this. So later, white would be really happy to play it. I think white could have played here immediately if he wanted to. I don't know how to answer. Other choices, I actually think now white playing something over there would be good. Since the Moyo became this wide and white's already feeling a bit satisfied with the flow of the game, could play something like that. Actual game, white played here. Who likes this move? Yeah? No one else? I actually don't. I think it's a little bit loose. It doesn't really have a good follow-up. The best you can do, you still cannot cut. Black is just gonna play like this. And you have nowhere to go with these two stones. You need some preparation first, having stone over here. So the best you could do after this is play here, but this move is still gote. So that's why I think I would have rather play here or now play directly there. Actually, game white plays here. Where should black's next move be? Left side, Moyo. Actual game, black empty. That's a tough move. It's also one of the reasons why I don't like this. It makes it very clear for black to know what he has to do. If you're playing here, it's still the same as before for black to deal with the bottom side. But after this, black knows if he doesn't enter now, it might be too late. So black invades. The exact invasion point, maybe this one would be better. I'm not sure why black didn't choose to play here. Next move. Where is Ochimin? He has to explain this move because this cannot be right. Yeah, I think he was a little bit worried that if he tries to attack from outside, maybe now it's too easy for black to live. If you defend over here somewhere, black takes the next move here and you're never gonna kill this. Still, I don't think this move can be good. least play from this side. Yeah. I think something like that looks better. So, next, black has many possibilities. Jumping is fine. As long as black stays light and doesn't get attacked too heavily, it's fine. The actual game, black chose this move. I think it's quite a good move. Black needs the ladder for this. When you get cut, if white has the ladder, then white will just draw back with this stone, and black is cut. But since black has the ladder, he could play like this. I still think this move would have been nice. And then, instead of cutting directly, draw back over here. Yeah. If black saves 2 stones, white's still happy to connect everything, and the group is still floating about. Yeah. If white goes in, if black goes in, then cut, and looks like black is collapsing. Actual game, white will lose. That feels like good shape, but I actually don't like this move. And I asked Lila, and she also doesn't like this move, how to punish.
Do you bump against the stone?
Bump against the stone.
Mm.
Yeah. Good. The reason you play this is, if you just play here, later white can still keep everything connected. But if you bump, maybe white wants to play over here to aim at the cut and just connect. I guess it feels like white got nothing. Just made a very over-concentrated shape on both sides and doesn't look easily attackable, this black group. So I think had black played here, the game is good for black. Actual game, black played jump here. And then black groups. Yeah. I think black was a bit worried about his, a bit too worried about his group playing like this. He was also aiming at the cuts over here, but it's hard to find anything concrete black can do following this pick. So this cut also doesn't do anything. That's correct point. Pressure the black group. Perhaps black thought he can cut this stone. If you can capture this, of course it's very good for you. You just destroy all the points and live immediately with the group. But white can resist like this. Can resist like this. If white tries to capture the 3 stones, yeah, getting squeezed like this would be a disaster. Yeah. Now there is almost 2 eyes immediately over here, and yeah, white only gets 6 points. This one became a bit weaker. So if this was working, white would be screwed. But white has a good move now. Anyone got it? white doesn't have this one.
Oh.
Still want to honey? You honey and black cuts. Alright. Yeah. Black still has the same ladder from before. And game over.
Just the empty triangle, maybe.
Yeah.
Triangle. If you play here, almost the same. Keep. That connects.
Down the short.
Yeah. Black cannot seal white in. After this cut, yeah, black gets cut and the situation is unmanageable. So I think this move was almost working, but because of this peep, black cannot really do anything anymore. Cannot save those two stones and cannot squeeze white. So turns out this move was gote and white can play here. Actual game. Like just pushed. Yeah. Black plays here. White would get to keep all the points and still attack. Feels like somewhere in here black lost a move. One of these moves is inefficient. The actual game, black pulled back, so he didn't like that. I think white could still connect and be pretty satisfied with the result. But what she means, thought he saw something even better. Pushed over here. Black blocks, still ladder. So instead white peak. This is a bit risky though. Since now black can destroy the connection and the points with this move in center and then can connect back. Yeah, but in the game, black was worried he might die if white plays there. So first, black attached. Extend. Okay. Now, I really think white can be satisfied getting even more points. But I think What You Mean had one of those times when you can give feelings where you can give your opponent a really bad shape and you just couldn't pass it up. So he played this. The idea is that if black connects, you get to peep again, and black gets this ugly telephone shape. Yeah, but I think the game would have been much simpler for white if he just took the two stones. Black has no choice, has to connect those. So white plays here. Actually, since we're on the subject of bed shape, I'm thinking maybe instead of connecting over here, maybe black could push like this. Looks ridiculous, but if white answers, then we can. It doesn't look much different, but the difference in eye shape and just the general wellness of the group is really large. So I would have liked to see black try this move maybe. If white just throws back and you connect, white still lost this creep.
What if white cuts immediately?
Yeah, if white cuts immediately, then no one knows. Go in and see what happens.
Can black capture?
Capture these two,
Yeah.
like this. Doesn't look like it. Push like this. Seems there is no geta, but if you just go in here, this shape is not that strong. I think if black feels the game is not going well, he would be happy to take this chance and make it complicated. In the actual game, I connected, made this telephone shape, then still bad shape, but if you check the game situation now, white doesn't have many points. So if black can take care of his group, the game seems playable. I really think white should have cut off 2 stones. Okay. White defends the cut, black defends. White exchanges. That's normal. Keep pressuring the group, make it suffer. I think maybe black thought the game is really good for him now, since he destroyed all the points over here. Otherwise, it'd be hard to explain how he can justify this move. Yeah. Looks good. It's good eye shape, but it's kind of saying, I think I won already. So if I just live with this group, you cannot win. Actually, white doesn't have much, but black's corners and territories are also pretty small. It's just Shimari. Here there is still some holes, and this area is flat. So black is not winning enough to start doing this kind of things. It's better to jump out. Next. I think this one is still simplest, just big. Actual game, I decided to play here. And next dice. At this point, black is just going for territory and try to win endgame. Yeah, here, white has some potential. It's a brave move when you already have a group. Probably the most natural continuation is something like this. It would be a complicated fight since black has 2 groups, but it's not really easy to capture this one. It's a bit risky to try. In the actual game, White had a maybe better idea. White pushed here first. Can anyone tell me what's the purpose of this one? It's quite subtle.
Take the corner.
If that is the start point, then the block becomes center.
Yeah. If Black plays here, then this move becomes White's center. Then White can jump first. Yeah, in the actual game, Black didn't accept that, so he captured. Then, yeah, naturally, since Black didn't defend, White gets to break the Shimara. This move might look strange, but it's the only move to keep this position salvageable. Say. Well, that's enough. If White cuts directly, then Black is gonna extend on the side. Now, Black has a choice. Play this or not? What do you think? Chochikun would definitely play it.
That'll do for me.
Hmm?
That'll do for me.
Well, the center group is under attack because of the white strength.
It's too small.
So Black has a few things to think about. First, this thing is not really alive yet. And second is, this is starting to look bigger and bigger. And the third is that this one is still quite big and he'd like to connect. Right? If White goes in, maybe you gotta keep answering. You gotta answer this as well. Later on, maybe you even have to make some life with this one. So it's not small.
Is there a way for White to win a capturing race following a honey and a cuts if White plays b3?
Oh, you want to play honey?
Yeah. Is there any way of winning a capturing race this way?
I think maybe this capturing race would be complicated, but the problem is that if Black just plays here, this is strictly worse than just descending, since when you descend you can jump. But after this, so if Black plays here, the points in the corner are the same. But if Black pushes, then he can Tanuki now.
Okay.
Now, pushing now wouldn't do anything, since this would be really severe. About the capturing race. Looks like some call. Of course, this kind of call would have been great for White, but Black's not gonna cut over this. Sure. pretty good exchange, and then I continue. Black was scared about surviving with this group, so he decided to defend and also reduce over here. Probably had to connect and dare white to attack or kill him. I don't think white is going to go crazy and play something like this. Probably was just gonna attack it from here. Black has pretty nice eye shape over there, so he's not too scared. It shouldn't be too scared. Again, let's take that. White takes his advantage and connects away.
Does black need that last move? Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
Black would like to tenuki, play something like that, but white will take the stone, and then best black can do is try to live like this. But first of all, that's a really pathetic life, even if it was alive. And the white king is a free core over here. Aspects. Actually, this answer is a bit better. Maybe 1 point better for the end game, since you don't have to connect here as well. Anyhow, yeah, now, as I said, since black also got disconnected from this group and white is so thick in the center, white could even harass this group, which normally would be considered pretty strong. But in this situation, white could keep harassing black like this. Gotta answer.
Is that stone on the board? The one, no, the one to the left.
Yeah. I think it should still play there. They both ignore this part for so long.
On the left-hand side, could black have played at the middle of the board, slightly on the left, to create Miai, but connecting at the top and connecting his weak group in the top left-hand corner to the left-hand side?
Instead of this one, you mean?
Ideally before white cut him off at the top.
So, where?
On the third line in the middle of the board. Yes, around there. Maybe one line lower.
So something like this.
Yes, exactly. Because if white turns, then the connection at the top is very efficient.
White turns. Then, yeah, if black had to answer it, then this would end up being a bad move. But since black can still tenuki, yeah, white's turn is not good. And if white is here,
Wait.
black's gonna connect. That's an interesting move. Yeah, so if you're gonna ignore this, yeah, looks like a good move. But the problem is this move, since if you ignore this, you get cut over here. So if when white plays here, you answer somehow, then yeah, after this block, you get another weak group. You can start running, but now it's really looking like you're gonna die to something. Well, maybe worth trying if you feel like you're really behind. But this game is still kinda close, since even though black is getting hammered all game attack, but white still didn't make any points. here, here, here. Yeah, that's the answer. And what is it? Yeah. I think about this group, I can live locally, but it would be way too painful to live right now. So the actual game, I try to go out and fight some more. I think we're gonna stop here. I'm pretty sure in the end, White won this game. Yeah, you can see how even though White didn't have any points, just by attacking and slowly just taking it patiently, White managed to harass Black everywhere.
Was the black group in the centre to the bottom right, was that captured?
This one?
Yeah.
No,
I don't think so.
the group in the bottom left in the corner got captured.
This one?
Yes.
I didn't see the end of the game since I'm going to review another one, but I'm pretty sure White won the game. Yeah. So that's it for this one, and see you guys for the simul.
So.